right, welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into a literal ticking clock journey, the fascinating 36-hour fast. We hear a ton about fasting, right? But we rarely get a behind-the-scenes look from the perspective of the actual workers keeping us alive, our own internal organs. Based on our source material, we're going to walk step by step through the biological drama that unfolds inside you when you just stop eating. It is a wild story of survival, panic, teamwork, and ultimately a total cellular renewal. Picture this. The whole process kicks off with the brain's sudden, highly optimistic decision to stop eating. This is the inciting incident for the rest of your body. Out of nowhere, on a random Tuesday, your brain feels incredibly confident, climbs up its mountain of conviction, and announces to the system that today is the day. It dictates a 36-hour fast, promising all the other organs that they're absolutely going to think it later. But as you can probably guess, the crew working below deck does not share this enthusiasm right out of the gate. Down in the engine room, absolute panic. The digestive system dreads the impending hunger and is practically begging the brain to change its mind. The stomach and intestines try to play it cool at first. They look at the leftover glucose from your last meal and figure, the brain's gonna crack once hunger sets in. To them, a day and a half without food is just an impossibly long time, and they're crossing their fingers hoping for a swift cancellation of this whole wild plan. So, here's the exact roadmap we're following today to see how the body unlocks these new biological mechanisms. We start at 0 hours with the initial decision. Hit glucose depletion at 6 hours, glycogen depletion at 12 hours, cellular repair at 20 hours, and finally, the big 36-hour reset. Let's fast forward to the 6-hour mark. Part 1, running on empty, the first crisis. At this point, your primary fuel, that easy glucose from your last meal, is completely gone. The initial buffer is chewed up and metabolized, so things inside your body are starting to get a little tense. To avoid a total shutdown, your body taps into its backup reserve, glycogen. It's literally like your car automatically switching to the reserve tank when the low fuel light pings. This buys your body a bit more time, keeping the organs running without triggering a full-blown systemic alarm. And you know this feeling. This is the exact moment when the physical sensation of hunger starts creeping in, making your organs cranky and just incredibly tired of the fast. Even with the glycogen keeping the lights on, your body is highly aware that food is missing. Hunger physically manifests, and the organs, especially your stomach, just want to be done with this nonsense. It's the super uncomfortable transitional phase where your body is practically pleading for a quick snack to end the ordeal. Pushing right along, we hit hour 12, bringing us to part 2, the fat-burning switch. Emergency systems engage. Now the glycogen tank is officially dry. Without those easy-to-use sugars, it's time for the body's emergency backup systems to step up and collaborate. The biological reinforcements arrive in a very specific sequence. First, the pituitary gland kindly sends growth hormone over to the muscles to protect them from breaking down. Meanwhile, the body tags the pancreas to secrete glucagon. This step is absolutely crucial because it allows your body to take its stored fat and begin converting it into a brand new, usable form of energy. The result of all that biological scrambling? The production of lovely little ketones. This is your emergency generator fuel, and it comes with a crazy plot twist. The sensation of hunger actually fades away. Once the fat is converted, these ketones just flood the system. And here's the really fascinating part. The physical sensation of hunger doesn't really know how to interact with ketones. So as your body switches over to burning fat, that nagging, cranky feeling of starvation dramatically drops off. This is a brilliant illustration of the body's energy hierarchy, shifting away from the primary fuel tank to the fat-burning emergency reserve. On one hand, you've got glucose and glycogen, primary easy-access fuels, sure, but they run out fast and leave you desperate for a snack. On the other hand, you have ketones, your emergency fuel, derived straight from your fat stores, which keeps the systems running and actually suppresses that distracting hunger. It is a complete metabolic paradigm shift. Now, as the clock ticks down to hour 20, we enter part 3, the cellular cleanup crew, repairing from the inside. While your physical limbs might be feeling heavy and fatigued from extreme energy conservation, on a microscopic level, a miraculous deep clean is kicking off. Because your digestive system isn't bogged down processing new food, the body suddenly has the free time and energy to look inward. Your cells literally start repairing themselves. Think of it like the ultimate spring cleaning. The body spots a broken cellular component, straight to the trash. A toxic protein floating around, into the garbage. Harmful microbes, completely eliminated. The cells are actively optimizing from the inside out. There's an official biological term for this internal repair operation: autophagy. It literally translates to self-eating, but in an incredibly positive way. The body is consuming its own damaged cellular material to regenerate newer, healthier cells. And you know what? This is the exact profound benefit the brain was hoping for when it initiated the fast in the first place, giving the body the unbroken time it desperately needs to conduct this vital deep tissue maintenance. And finally, we cross the finish line, hour 36. Part 4, the 36-hour reset. A sweet, sweet reset. Emerging from that abyss of hunger, the organs realize something amazing. They feel better than they have in a decade. They are absolutely marveling at the success of the brain's optimistic gamble. The dread, the fatigue, the crankiness from the first 12 hours, totally gone, replaced by this profound feeling of biological cleanliness and efficiency. The very same stomach and intestines that were complaining at hour 1 are now celebrating. They had no idea how bogged down they were before the fast began. It's a massive victory. Turns out, the brain was right all along. But you've got to love the irony here. Just as the body gets used to this wonderful, pristine, reset state, the brain looks down from its mountain and instantly decides to celebrate by initiating a massive feast. Cue the horror from the newly cleaned stomach. The brain decides it's time to reward everyone with a gigantic influx of food, prompting a collective "no way" from the organs who literally just finished their deep clean. It is the perfect, ironic end to the whole internal drama. So as we wrap up this explainer, here's the crucial takeaway. We've watched the body transition from relying on easy glucose, to battling hunger, to switching on those fat-burning ketones, and finally entering that incredible regenerative state of autophagy. It's demanding, for sure, but it leaves your cells completely refreshed. So ask yourself, is a metabolic reset exactly what your own body is waiting for? Are you ready to let your cellular cleanup crew take over? Thanks for exploring this fascinating journey with me today.